To understand how alkaline diet works, you first have to understand that everything is chemistry. We operate, we live, and we breathe, we extend into the world of chemistry. Every single plant, every single living element has its own chemical blueprint. And if we understand that that's a fact and that we have our own energetic and chemical footprint, and that both of those come together to create a combustion, chemical combustion and interaction, then we can be more cognizant into how we interact with our environment and what we do to stay healthy. Everything we put into our bodies has a repercussion on our cells molecularly. There's a cause and effect of chemistry, and we interact with it every day. Think of your body as a chemical processor that uses the fuel that you provided with food to digest, absorb, utilize, and eliminate. So this processor has 4 different stages. And if all stages work really well, you're going to be in the perfect health. Think of the body as a chemical processor. And as your food, think of fuel. A fuel that the body needs to digest, number 1, absorb the nutrients, utilize the nutrients, and eliminate the waste. Now you have to understand that every food, every plant has its own consciousness, has its own chemistry and vibrational blueprint. So it does matter which chemistry we put in our bodies. And health works in accumulation. So whatever is the chemical accumulation of the chemistry we place and put in our bodies, that is the type of terrain that we will experience. So if the pH level of the food is more acidic than alkaline, we will experience this acidic terrain environment. So whatever chemical ash or the pH level of the food once it's digested is in our bodies, that is the type of terrain that we are building internally. For example, if the terrain of our bodies are mostly acidic, we are going to be prone to the proliferation of viruses, of fungi, of inhospitable pathogens. So we have to, and parasites, of course, so we have to ensure that our terrain is clean, and that is best accomplished with an alkaline diet. So if our foods are mostly acidic in their composition, this will cause an acidic terrain in the body. The acidic terrain is going to be very hospitable for a number of pathogens, including viruses, bad bacteria, parasites, which a lot of us have, and they will proliferate, causing different blockages, causing potential for more acidosis, and ultimately these acids will degenerate cells and tissues, which we call localized disease. Localized disease is really the impact of genetics, of acidic chemistry, and our weakest areas of the body. And its proliferation also tells us whether it's a specific disease such as an itis, which is an inflammatory disease, so pancreatitis, or something more extreme such as pancreatic cancer. So all of those are levels of acidosis, and they all stem from an acidic terrain. So the alkaline diet encompasses foods that are electrical, that are hydrating, and highly astringent. And these foods are called alkaline foods. They hold a low potential for hydrogen. That's why the pH level of alkaline foods is always high. pH means the potential for hydrogen. So the foods that are the best for you should have a lower potential for hydrogen, but they're higher in the pH scale. So it's a reverse type of thinking. The more acidic foods have more potential for hydrogen because hydrogen in chemistry is an acidic element. When you add hydrogen to water, it makes water slightly acidic. People say it's neutral, but it has a little bit more of that acidic charge. H2O, 2 hydrogens for every oxygen. So think of your food. If there's more potential for hydrogen, That means it's more acidic. However, that also means that it's lower on the pH scale. Now think about our own reality and the laws of nature. They are also governed by the 80-20, 80% alkaline, 20% acidic ratio of chemistry. Under this chemical law, everything is born, everything grows, and everything decays and perishes. So it's a perfect balanced chemical formula that actually is then reflected in our bodies in everything we do. There's even an 80-20 marketing law. There's an 80-20 productivity law. And our bodies operate under the same law. As outside of our body, so within. If you look at nature, she is the primary mirror of what's happening inside us. If you look at the cosmos is a big body, and all the planets and stars you could think of as cells in a big cosmic body that is the universe. So is our body in miniature. As above, so below. So in our body, the same thing happens. The cells, they operate, there are all these communities and systems and tribes and countries, and so all of them work together. And there is also a sense of a chemical natural law that governs all of these operations. So if we are governed by these laws externally, we also have to think about what happens internally when these laws operate on us, whether we know them or abide by them, and how that really affects the life, the quality of life, and the way of life we have on the planet. If this law governs us collectively, but also personally, just have a look at the world we've created. We've acidified our environment with man-made chemicals, with all kinds of foods, frankenfoods, with a modern lifestyle, with EMFs that are not sustainable to keep this balance going, to protect this integrity. Just take a look how we're acidifying our environment with man-made chemicals, frankenfoods, plastics, EMFs, modern lifestyle. This is not sustainable. And whenever we break a law, like we would in society, we obviously will be taken out of society and go to jail. And that's the same thing that happens with us. When we don't abide by the law of nature and her ways, we will experience those consequences in our lives, be it collectively and also personally. Given this modern acidification of our environment, we are completely out of balance with how we're supposed to operate, how our bodies were meant to interact with the environment. We are increasingly sick, we are increasingly diseased, and instead of trying to figure out, wait, where did I go wrong? What happened? Why am I out of balance? Why is my body reacting this way? We look to those answers outside of ourselves, outside of our reality. We want somebody to pacify us, to give us something quick so we don't have to think about the causes of how did we transgress this law in our lives? How did we really, how did we get here? Our bodies are out of balance, both chemically, energetically, and this all makes us susceptible to cellular degeneration and different kinds of diseases. Just think of the chemistry of acids. It's just so corrosive, so degenerative. And think of that in your body. What does it do? How do these acids then interact with all the cells, with all the processes? How do they eat away at tissue? Do they weld organs together because those organs degenerate and kind of melt into one another? All of this happens. And believe me, I've heard of naturopaths, of a lot of different wellness practitioners that talk about the fact that they've never seen the perfect gut or the perfect organ, because our organs are being deformed by these acids that you don't know anything about. Remember, acidic chemistry dehydrates and degenerates, while alkaline chemistry hydrates, cleans, electrifies. So it gives the body the energy to clean and self-heal. We have some of the most evolved nervous systems out of all the species. This means that we need the most energy out of all the species from our foods. So if we're not eating electrical foods, we are operating completely under our potential. As a species with some of the most advanced nervous and endocrine systems, think about the energy it takes to run this highly evolved electrical operation. That is exactly what we need from foods, that type of energy. So are we eating the type of foods that give us that energy, or the type of foods that will rob us of that energy? And I would like to argue the latter. Basically, we're performing below our potential. So in order for our species to evolve, we have to consume the type of chemistry that will take us from this level to this level. And the only way to do that is, in my opinion, through alkaline foods, the highest electrical foods that are on this planet, that give us not only the nutrition we need, but the energy to help the body, give it the help it needs because of our modern times to operate the way that it was designed to operate. This is the number one modality that I use with clients to bring them out of the acidic, disease-forming state and ignite the body's eliminative and self-healing mechanisms. So in terms of fruits and veggies, which ones are more alkaline? Well, my take on that is that fruits will always be a bit more alkaline than vegetables. This is because they are highly rich in water, which is hydrating, and they have astringency, which means they clean and pool really well. So they're perfect for detox. And another thing is they're highly electrical. So they have a lot of electrolytes. Vegetables are a bit more complex. They're more grounding. They are very alkaline, and you will experience the benefits of the alkaline diet if you simply eat vegetables. So this is just a list of my favorite alkaline foods because they're very, very good for healing. So as a practitioner, I use these specifically to help elevate the condition of the person that I'm working with. So if you need a lot of energy, if you're looking to overcome a very energetically depleting condition, these are the best foods that can do that. That being said, you can use vegetables, fruits, there's a huge list of alkaline foods that you can incorporate into your diet and see immense benefits from. So if you're on your healing journey, if you're looking to have more energy, if you're looking to use foods for healing, this is your list. Red grapes, citrus, berries, tropical fruits, and bitter greens. So officially, this is the first video on my new channel. So thank you for stopping by. I hope you learned a lot. If you liked this video, please help support the channel in any way. Even giving me a thumbs up would be wonderful, or share this video with somebody that you think would find this information useful. So take good care and see you in the next video.